There are three gods mentioned in Gita chapter 15, verses 16-17. Who are these three lords? After taking refuge in which god birth and death can be ended? Who is the best god among the three lords? What is he like? What is his name? To unravel all these mystical secrets, must listen the nectar words of Jagat Guru Tattvadarshi Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj, based on the holy scriptures of all religions.
We will get that false happiness which we consider to be happiness of those devotional practices in heaven and great heaven, and the sins which have been written separately will be tolerated in hell or 84 lakh life forms, or in human life that will be endured. In that also some virtues and sins are mixed. The point is that where we are living and the gods we are worshipping with them are accumulated. Destined karmas cannot be destroyed. The destined karmas are ones that have been written in our life, which we call fate, luck, and both must be born after coming in the refuge of God. Kabir, God explains that in Yajurved chapter number 5, mantra number 32, that Usi kasi Kavir Anghari asi Bambhari asi. Anghyari means means sins, Ari means enemy, destroyer of sins, is Kabir Dev. We call him Kabir Sahib. Bambhari means who cuts the bond of our karmas. Bambh means bondage and Ari means enemy, Bambhari. He is the enemy of bondage, Kabir Dev, Kabir Sahib, and that Ritdhamo Swarajyoti Ritdhamasi. The body of that god is self-illuminated, just as the sun is self-illuminated. In the same way the body of God is self-illuminated. He is in form like humans, is in man form. He is like a man and resides in Satlok. Virtuous souls, God had spoken 600 years ago in his nectar speech, in Kabir's speech, in Satchidanand Ghan Brahm speech, had said 600 years ago that
वेद मेरा भेद है, मैं मिलूं वेदन में नाही, और जौन वेद से मैं मिलूं वो वेद जानते नहीं.
Vedas are my secret. They are providing my knowledge, are glorifying me, but I cannot be attained by the methods described in these Vedas, because in these 4 Vedas there is a mention of spiritual practice up to Brahma, and the 5th Veda, which was the Sukshma Ved, which was the speech of Satchidanand Ghan Brahma, that is, the 5th Ved was destroyed by God Kal so that all the living beings under me may not get to know about true God, and by doing this worship may not get out of my trap. From this intention, this God Kal destroyed that 5th Veda to fulfill the loss of that 5th Veda. The Supreme God himself comes from Satlok, and then he provides information that is called the speech of Satchidanand Ghan Brahma. It has been said in Srimad Bhagavad Gita chapter 4 verse number 32 that the practice is explained in verses 25 to 31 that Arjun, someone does yogasanas, some worships the gods, some are non-violent, strap their mouth and walk barefoot so that no living being is killed. Some do such practice. Some do sarvadhyay. Some only pay attention to inhaling and exhaling. The air goes out and air comes in. Just keep focusing on this. Only this needs to be done. Even if you do not focus on it, then also breath will come. What has changed by focusing? So, without knowledge, they were fooling us and were wasting our time. This practice was not correct. It was arbitrary worship against the scriptures. He says in chapter 4, verses 25 to 30 in Gita Ji that the seekers consider their practice to the destroyer of sins And that is why they are doing. If they get to know that it is wrong, then they will leave it immediately. Then it is said in Gita Ji chapter 4 verse number 32 that the true knowledge of these yagya which they are doing are trying to attain God. Yagya means religious rituals. The information about these yagya, religious rituals, has been written in detail in the speech of Sachidanand Ghan Brahm Brahmane Mukhe, that is, God has come and has spoken from his mouth in that speech. That true knowledge has been written. Virtuous souls, that is the speech of Sachidanand Ghan Brahm, Kabir Vani, and God says that these 4 Vedas are glorifying me, but I cannot be obtained from the method described in these Vedas. I will show you the mantra of Yajurved, chapter 5, mantra 32. Kavir Anghariyasi Bambhariyasi. Look, this is Yajurved, and its translation has been done by Maharishi Dayanand, who is its publisher. Sarvadeshik Arya Pratinidhi Sama, due by 5, Maharishi Dayanand Bhavan, Ramlila Ground, New Delhi. Yajurved, Arya Bhasha Bhashyam, complete 40 chapters translated by Maharishi Dayanand Saraswati. Dayanand Ji has done its translation. He is not the author of Vedas, is only the translator. Like there are many translators of Gita Ji, and the printer is Prince Offset Printers, 1510 Patodi House, Daryaganj, New Delhi. Now let us show you in chapter 5, verse 32. This is the 5th chapter below. 32nd mantra, 32. Look here. Ushigasi, see this. Kavir Anghariyasi, we call this Kabir. We say bear in our local language. Kavir Anghariyasi Bambhariyasi, Swaryurasi. They have translated this, O God, because of which you, Ushik, are radiant. Asi and Anghari means evildoers, the enemy of beings. Here they should have written, you are the enemy of sins, is the destroyer of sins. Now this was the ignorant theory of Maharishi Dayanand, that God does not destroy sin, therefore he confused the matter here, and then in the 13th verse of the 8th chapter it has been written 6 times, God destroys sin, there he had no say. Here it should have been written, Ang means sin, Ari means enemy, who is the enemy of sins, Kabir. Now this is Kabir. We started calling him Kabir, and he has done the meaning of Kabir word as Kant Pragya. Now, Bambari, look, Bums means bondage. Ari means enemy, the enemy of the bondage. That is, we call him Bandi Chhod, who cuts the bondage, gets rid of the bondage. We call Kabir Ji, Kabir Parmeshwar. Bambhari, we call Bandi Chhod. There is a difference in writing. Here we can write Bandi Chhod or enemy of bondages. It's the same thing. Now, like the mistake he has done here, he has written this wrong. He should have written here Kavi. He is Kavi. That's it. We would have believed that he has tried to correct somehow. He has written the meaning of Kavir as Kant Pragya. It is completely wrong, like this is Yajurved, which we are reading if their translation somewhere. I will show you. This is the 36th chapter of this Yajurved. Look at Kshatrisa, chapter 36, 630, and this is the first mantra, this one. It is written in it, Richam Vacham Prapadha, Mano Yujho Prapadha. This Yajur word has been written. Now this is about Yajurved, and if anyone does literal translation of the word, then that's wrong. Its meaning must be written Yajurved. as this Maharishi Ji has done correct here. This is Yajur. It has been translated here. There it was the original text. Look at this. This is Yaju word, and it had to be translated Yajur Ved. Here the meaning became correct. Had they done the meaning of this it as a collection of sacrificial hymns, what would one understand if it is written as sacrificial worship? So the meaning of Yaju must be written that it is about Yajur Veda. So exactly where he has made Kavi, we will have to read it Kavir Dev and must write Kavir Dev. We come here again in the 32nd verse of the 5th chapter. Here in the 32nd verse of the Yajur Ved, he did Kavi. He was supposed to write here that he is Kavir Dev, that's it. He would have written Kavir Dev. We started saying Kabir Dev. The meaning of Dev is God. So here it should have been written, he is Kavir Dev, and look, here it has been written, Rit Dhamasi Swar Jyoti. He himself wrote Rit Dhama, that is Satyadham, called truth, abode, or say Satlok. This Satlok, Rit Dhama, like it is spoken by some Ritdhama, means resident of Satlok. It is said that he belongs to so-and-so village. We say like that, Ritdhama resides in Satlok and Swarjyoti. Look what rubbish he has done. In the translation, the one who illuminates the space, Swarjyoti, self-illuminates, God is self-illuminated. He resides in Satlok. His name is Kabir. He is Anghari, is the enemy of sins and is the enemy of bondage. That is Bandi Chhod, Kabir Anghari. We call him Kabir. Also started writing Kabir. Bigger I. Now God has said that Ved mera bhed hai, मैं वेदन में नहीं, और जो वेद से मैं मिलूं वो वेद जानते नहीं. See this. Rigved Bhasha Bhashyam Part 2. From where is it published? The publisher is Pandit Rakesh Rani, Head Office, Ved Mandir, Mahatma Ved Bhikshu Seva Ashram, Lekhram Nagar, Ibrahimpur, Mukhmelpur, Delhi 110036. Telephone 7202249, and below it has been written Dayanand Institute, Publication of New Delhi. Now here is the translator. This is 910 Mandal. This is Mahatma Ved Bhikkhu, Bhartendranath Dayanand Sansthan, Karol Bagh, New Delhi. I will show you in its part 10, Sukt number 49. See this. Rigved Mandal number 10, Sukt 49. This is the first mantra. This is the first mantra of Sukt 49. It has been written in this that the one who worships me, that is complete God, is writing his glory in the Vedas. And this means that Ahem Dan Grante Purvyam Swasvaham Brahm Kranav. Now the complete God says that I have created Brahma. Now look here, see their translation. I provide salvation and knowledge to the one who worships the everlasting world, Sanatan, grandeur, eternal abode. I also grant knowledge and liberation. That place is worth residing in, Sanatan abode, grandeur, going where your happiness will never end. I provide that. Ahem Brahm Kravanam. Now look, this is clear. We will have to read this also. They are messing this up. Ahem Brahm Kravanam. I create the Vedas. They have made Brahm meaning Vedas. Damn it. I created Brahma. Supreme God Kabir Dev Ji, Satpurush, had created Brahma. Now read the original Sanskrit. Ahem, that is me. Brahm, that is I, create Kranava. Brahm, I create Brahm. Alright. Wherever they have made a small mistake in the translation, we will rectify it with our knowledge. These Vedas glorify me. This Veda praises me. All these 4 Vedas are singing my glory. I am the one who directs to the correct path to those who perform yajna, charity and satsang.
करे करावे साईं मन में लहर उठा और दादू सिद्धर जीव के आप बगल हो जा.
It says that I only bring those virtuous souls who perform charity, virtue and satsang. I am the one who orders the virtuous path. I only defeat those mischievous, sacrificial beings in the battle. Means I defeat them. The point of saying is that I have created Brahm, and those who perform my true worship praise me. I make them attain Sanatan, ultimate abode. Sanatan, that is eternal abode. And when we go there, there is prosperity and all comforts are by default. There is no death, no old age and no scarcity of anything. It is a habitable world. He provides salvation and knowledge, and I, Ahem Brahm Krinavam, create the Vedas, not Vedas. I create Brahm. Maham Vardhanam Mahaniyam. These Vedas are singing my glory because later Brahma gave the knowledge of Vedas. Now the point of saying is that the scriptures which we believed to be correct, believed to be true and still believe correct, we could not understand them. When complete God Kabir, that Dhanak Kabir ji, Weaver Kabir, God Kabir, Paramakshar Brahm, who came to Kashi, showed his Satlok to his beloved soul Dharamdas ji, showed him the land of truth and made him familiar with the whole situation. And when he came back, left the soul back in his body, then after he awakened, said that, O God, we used to consider these Sri Ram, Sri Krishna, Brahma, Mahesh and Vishnu to be the supreme power. O Lord, are these Vedas and all the Puranas false? It has been told about them that they are immortal and eternal, almighty, omniscient. God said,
वेद कतेब झूठे नहीं भाई और झूठे हैं जो समझे नाई.
Those are liars who could not understand them.
वेद पढ़ने पर भेद न जाने बाँचे पुराण 18.
Read the Vedas and still unable to understand them. They got the incorrect worship done.
और जड़ को अंधा पत्ते खुआवे भूल गया सिरजनहारा.
They offer tulsi leaves for God, offer fruits, flowers on the idol, and it is said that you have forgotten the Creator. So these Vedas have the glory of God. Gradually this correct translation will come before you. First, the servant wants to make you firm that you understand that whatever this servant is saying is all true. After that, this servant will translate Vedas as required. First, you are being shown their translation of these mantras so that no one could confuse you by saying that Rampal does not know Sanskrit, and the followers of Maharishi Dayanand Acharyas were scholars of Sanskrit. Maharishi Dayanand was also a learned man. He knew Sanskrit. He has understood it correctly and has translated the Vedas correctly. So first the servant will show the translation done by him, and then along with that will highlight the errors. Then you will understand. Then you will be sure which translation is correct and which is wrong. Then you will decide and will become firm. Unless we are firm, we cannot attain salvation. A staggering man can never be successful. Suppose you go ahead and there are two ways. You are going alone somewhere. Either there is a guide with you or some knowledgeable person, or you have a map. Looking at that map, you can see and walk that this is the way and not this, and you are firm about the map that whatever has been written in it is final. So these scriptures are our map. You are being shown this map that this is your way where you are going and not this one. You will become firm and cannot be shaken again if you don't have a map and you start walking and there will be two paths ahead. You will get into confusion. You may walk with closed eyes, that is separate. In the same way, the servant considers it necessary to introduce you to these scriptures. Now it is told that
वेद मेरा भेद है और मैं ना वेदन के माही, जौन वेद से मैं मिलूं ये वेद जानते नहीं.
it has been said in verse 32 of Gita Ji chapter 4 that the speech of God, that God spoke from his lotus mouth in Satchidanand Ghan Brahm means Paramakshar Brahm has spoken the speech from his mouth. In that information about these religious rituals has been given in detail. It has been told in Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the 34th verse of the 4th chapter this kal, the knowledge giver of Gita is speaking after entering in Sri Krishna Ji. Entering in him is speaking. That is Tattva Gyan. You understand that knowledge by going to the enlightened saint, by prostrating them, by leaving deceit, serving and pleasing them, and questioning them politely. That Tattvadarshi Sant will provide you the knowledge of the Supreme Being which even the knowledge giver of Gita does not know. That is the true spiritual knowledge. That is in the speech of Satchidanand Ghan Brahm has been uttered from the mouth of Satchidanand Ghan Brahm. That is the same God has come and told us this truth that who are you? Where have you come from? Who is God? What practice do you do? The glory of that God, like you read in the first mantra in Rigved Mandal 10, Sukt 49, Vedas, God says, complete Brahma says that I created this Brahma. Later Brahma further glorified me because God had fed the 5 Vedas inside Brahma. Just as the entire matter, the entire film is transferred from one mobile to another, in the same way, God had faxed the 5 Vedas into his mind from there. Then as the time came, according to the rule of God, all of them automatically came out and appeared through his breaths from inside him. Now 50 years from today, 20 years and 40 years ago, the servant would have told that God sent these 4 Vedas in his computer inside Kal, and then when the time came, according to his orders, God did such a process that it automatically came out from his breath. You wouldn't have believed, but now you will believe all, because today the technique which you are seeing, you may download as much from anywhere. There is a small chip, this small, and how much matter is filled inside it. It may be fit anywhere and then is put, and you may download as much, fill the pages after pages and prepare the bundle. This had happened. When he saw it was downloaded from his computer and he read, there was complete information. In the 5th Veda, Sukshma Ved, the way of worship was also there. He destroyed it immediately, hid them. And in the other 4, there is glory of God, but he could not destroy them. There is glory in them, but not the way of worship. It is not possible for the living beings to understand these Vedas, whether it is Brahma, Vishnu, whether it is Shiv, they also could not understand the Vedas. God himself comes and explains those scriptures written by him properly. God spoke the decisive knowledge of the Vedas in his voice. Sachidanand Ghan Brahm speech, Kabir Vani. Now after understanding that speech, we opened the Vedas and the Vedas became completely clear. Because it is spiritual knowledge, it cannot be explained by those who only know Sanskrit language, cannot translate it. Like someone learned Hindi, a foreigner, he may become good in Hindi and has become a Shastri, and he does not know Ramayana. He does not know the story of Ramayana. And if someone tells him that you translate these verses written by Tulsidas, then he will do rubbish, even if he is a scholar. So, in the same way, the scholars of Sanskrit language, a scholar is the one who is omniscient. Only God, Kabir, is omniscient, and was the knower of all the languages, knew complete spiritual knowledge, and he was called ignorant by these fake scholars. Knowing Sanskrit does not make one a scholar. Knowing a language does not make one scholar. It is okay. He knows that language. He is the master. That's all. They could not understand true spiritual knowledge, because of which they did their wrong meaning. Now that God himself comes, from there he tells correctly about the creation of the universe created. By him, he comes and provides the exact knowledge. He explains that knowledge. He comes walking like human beings, virtuous souls, this God Kal, through these ignorant sages, Maharishis, saints, gurus, Brahmans. The meaning of Brahman here is not by caste. This should be understood because we react and don't listen to the knowledge. The meaning of Brahman is one who is in the possession of Guru. He is a Brahman, the one who provides the knowledge, the knower of God. Brahman, soi jo Brahma pehchane. Brahman is called the one who has known God. But they did not know and were used to be called Brahmins. They were not sages, Maharishis, but were used to be called sages, Maharishis. Today they are called Maharishi, but are not worthy of calling Maharishi. They are called Brahman, but were not worthy of being called Brahman. As my Gurudev was a Brahman according to the caste in Haryana, in village Paintavas, near Dadri, Big Paintavas, district Bhiwani. He was the resident of that village Big Paintavas and was a Brahman by caste, but he does not call himself a Brahman. He used to say Sant Ramdevanand. He was a saint, and my Guru, grandfather, my Guruji's Guruji, he was from Chhavla village in Delhi near Najafgarh towards Gurgaon. Chhavla is on road. He was a Jat farmer from Chhavla village. He studied from Kashi Vidyapith and became the scholar of 4 subjects. He was called Pandit Chitanand. He was called Brahman. The ashram of our Guru grandfather is built in Gopalpur village near Kharkhoda in the district Sonipat. It has been written in their ashram, Pandit Chitanandji's ashram. And where there are ashram of our Gurudev, Sant Ramdevanandji's ashram. So here Brahman is not said because of caste, but because of the deed. So these fake Guru Brahmins who were at that post did not even know the ABC and were called sages and great sages. They could not understand that nectar speech of God. That is why God has said,
वेद कतेब झूठे नहीं भाई और झूठे हैं जो समझे नाही.
It has been written in Vedas that God himself comes with speed. Like in Arya Samaj group, there are many educated people, but they have literal knowledge, not spiritual knowledge. Even Maharishi Dayanand also does not know ABC of spiritual knowledge. That's why he only tried to translate the Vedas. He had his own principle that God is formless and does not live at one place. One country means does not live In one place, he is omnipresent just like air, the same is God. Well, gentlemen, how can formless God make such big structures? Like someone may say that how can one with form make? Listen, how one having form will make it? An engineer is in form and has made a ship, made an airplane and made this aeroplane. Made a ship is sitting in it and moving comfortably and the plane is moving. Let a formless craftsman make it after death. Damn, will he be able to make it? Like this, God is in human form. He is highly radiant. There is no limit to his power. Everything happens with his words. As we see, there are magicians. They put such a small marble in their mouth. After a while, they do like this and make it a big stone which comes out of their mouths with such great difficulty. And they throw it like this. You can check it. When a magician can do so much, then that supreme magician, he is almighty. He can do anything in one word. In the same way, we must get aware with the glory of that God. It has been said that God has done everything. In one word, Sakal Zameen Asman, he created everything in one word. He is almighty and can do anything. He came and gave that information that they say God is formless. Vedas tell he is in form. He is in a human form. Virtuous souls. That is why God used to say,
मोती मुक्ता दर्शत नाही ये जग है सब अंदरे दिखत के तो नैन चसम इनका फिरा मोतिया बिंदरे.
They seem to be learned men and were called Maharishis. They have cataracts. One who has cataracts in the eyes look healthy, everything would be visible, but is completely blind. One who has cataract in both eyes. God says to you, they look like Maharishis, Guru Brahmans, these Mandaleshwars, but they have cataracts. They do not know the truth written in their scriptures. And then they say God is formless. Now I will show you the whole situation of God. See Rig Ved, Mandal number 9. Rig Ved, Mandal number 9. I will show you. And Sukt number 86. Is God in form or is formless? What kind of spectacle does he perform? This is Rig Ved, Mandal number 9 and 10. Have been translated together. This has been published from Sarvadeshikarya Pratinidhi Sabha, Maharishi Dayanand, Ramlila Ground, New Delhi, and this is the printer, Prince Offset Printers, 1510, Patodi House, Daryaganj, New Delhi. This has been printed. Now see Rig Ved, Mandal number 9, Sukt 86, Mantra number 26. It has been written in this that for the worshipper who performs the yagya, God, who performs yagya means worshipper who do religious rituals, means for the devotees, God eases all the paths, heals their obstacles and purifies them, and simplifying himself, that radiant God here. It should have been written Kabir Dev. No poet can be omniscient who has complete knowledge. A poet can make poetry. Here it should have been written Kabir Dev, that Kabir Dev, like electricity, means like the lightning comes down within seconds, doing spectacle, and is obtained to virtuous souls, pious souls. He meets good souls just like he met respected Dharamdas ji, respected Nanak Dev Sahib ji, to respected Maluk Das Sahib Ji met respected Dadu Sahib Ji. Respected Garib Das Sahib Ji from village Chodani, district Jhajjar, Haryana met respected Ghisa Das Sahib Ji from village Khekda, district Meerut, UP. He meets virtuous man. Where does God reside? In the 27th verse. After reading 26th of Rigved, Mandal number 9, Sukt 86, we have come to 27th in this. Those who believe God is formless and Vedas are telling that God is illuminated. God is seated in third place in Dhulok. He resides in that third level of Dhulok, which means in one place of the radiant world, Satlok. Who is seated in the third place resides there. So, how is God formless when he is seated there? Let me show you further. Rigved Mandal number 9, Sukt 82. Rigved Mandal number 9, Sukt 82. See here. 81st ends here and 82nd starts. In its first mantra, it has been written that the omniscient God, who is the creator of all, the light form. This means that the highly radiant form is in form, the one who enhances virtues, who destroys the sins, the one who forgives the sins, that Rajiv, like a king, Rajiv, it's written ahead, look. We are reading on page 269. Someone confused you that another page must have been shown. Now I will show you 270. Look, here it is written 270. Here we are reading the first of 82, ninth of 82. He is worth seeing like a king, is visible, is in form like a king. So he is like a human being only in form. He is visible all around the world. He meets a virtuous man. Varni Purush means determined man, good souls, and a superior man who is committed. He is attained by purifying them. Like the committed devotee, respected Dharam Das Sahib Ji, who did not deviate after that, respected Maluk Das Sahib Ji, to respected Dadu Das Sahib Ji, respected Nanak Dev Sahib Ji, to respected Garib Das Sahib Ji from village Chodani, district Jhajjar, Haryana, to respected Ghisa Das Sahib Ji, village Khekda and district Meerut, Uttar Pradesh. They were committed devotees who did not deviate to date. They have shaken the world. God had come and met them. He purifies them and meets the virtuous man. Pious souls, like the lightning, is obtained by them. Aha. Look how much they clarified the concept. In Rigved, Mandal number 9, Sukt number 81, that God is worth seeing like a king. King means he is powerful. He is like humans as a king and is in form. He is worth seeing. He comes from there and meets pious souls, meets those who are committed devotees and not to others. As the lightning falls, it falls on an object to which it has a special attraction. In older times, when there used to be bronze utensils, plates, trays, and during the rainy season, if they were left lying outside, then our elderly grandmother, mother used to say that lightning falls on the bronze utensils. When there is its coincidence to fall from above, then it definitely gets attracted and falls on it. They used to get that put inside. So the point is that God is like this lightning, just as it falls on its favorite, on whom it is attracted. The same is the situation of God. He comes and meets those committed devotees who deserve to be met, on whom he is attracted, so that they may spread my knowledge further. They may remove the web of Kal and send this message to my dear souls. What to do of those who even after seeing do not believe? Will they attain God? They will get Kal where they are living. Now we have read Mantra 1 of Mandal 9, Sukt 82. Now I will show the second. Look, we have read first of Rigved, Mandal number 2, Sukt 82. Now let us read second. For what purpose does that Supreme God come? O God, you are attained to great men desiring to preach. You are attained to great souls, virtuous souls, and like very dynamic matter you are obtained to our spiritual sacrifices. That is, like a very dynamic substance, as lightning moves, like the speed of light. You come here to preach, to give true spiritual knowledge. You are Kabir Dev. You are Kabir Dev. They have written Sarvajay. Here they were supposed to write Kabir Dev. We call him Kabir Sahib. You are Kabir Sahib, pure form, as you were just shown. Where Yaju was written, there Yajurved will have to be translated. Maharishi Dayanand has done there as well in Yajurved, chapter 36, first mantra, has done the meaning of Yaju as Yajurved. There they should have done, he is Kabir Dev, he is pure form by taking away our sins. O Som, O immortal God, give us happiness. Virtuous souls,
वेद पढ़ें पर भेद न जाने ये बातें पुराण 18.
they read Vedas but do not know the meaning.
गुरु बिन काहू न पाया ज्ञाना, जो थो था वो छड़े मूड किसाना. गुरु बिन वेद पढ़े जो प्राणी, समझे न सार रहे अज्ञानी.
They remained ignorant. They used to study Vedas and were called Maharishis. They did not even know ABC. Now as God is like a human being has been proved, he is worth seeing like a king. And he comes from there with speed. The great men whom he met have told that Kabir is God, that Kabir Dev is in Kashi.
हम सुल्तानी नानक तारे दादू को उपदेश दिया, जात जुलाहा भेद न पाया वो काशी माए कबीर होया.
What do respected Garib Das Ji from village Chodani, district Jhajjar says, whom God came and met. Garib Das Sahib Ji has told,
सर्व कला सतगुरु साहिब की, या दुनिया दा जीवन झूठा भूल गए मर जाने नु. और सर्व कला सतगुरु साहिब की हरियाए हरियाणे नु.
that God came to Haryana, Garib Das Ji, 280 years ago in the year 1727. It has been almost 300 years. It has been more than 300 years. God had come in the year 1727, and in 1966, Haryana and Punjab had separated. Then the name of Haryana region was declared. This Haryana province was formed 200 or 250 years ago. God had written and had said, Garib Das Sahib Ji had written, Hariyaye Haryanenu. By his word, this Haryana region has been formed today so that we can understand the speech of God. If this speech would have been spoken 200 years ago, 100 years ago, or 50 years ago, and then where did God come from? At that time, Haryana did not exist. There was no trace, so this Haryana is formed. And now the speech has reminded us that Hariyaye Haryanenu, God knew at what time this speech would be needed. God met Garib Das Sahib Ji and he told that God came to Haryana and met me, and Vedas say that he comes and meets by souls. God is like human beings. Garib Das Sahib Ji has said,
कि हमरे ही हुनियार है हमरा सिरजनहार.
Our God is like us, our Hunyar, similar to us like humans in Vedas. Tell that he is in male form, that God is like a human. I will show you in which all Vedas. I will show you Rig Veda, Mandal number 7, Sukt number 11, Mantra number 3, it is written, Manushya Vayat Agne. Agne means God. O God like a human being. Rigved Mandal number 7, Sukt 2, Mantra 3. It is written again, Manushyat Agne Manuna. O God like man, similar to human, Manushyavat. O human like God Manuna, that is, you come like a learned man and open the treasure of knowledge. Rigved, Mandal number 1, Sukt 44, Mantra number 11. Manushyavat Dev, Dev means God, O human like God. Rigved Mandal number 1, Sukt 31 in Mantra 17. Manushyavat Agne, human like God. Rigved Mandal number 1, Sukt 46, Mantra number 13. It has been written that Manushyavat Shambhu, that is, God is like a human being. O benevolent God, Shambhu means God. Rigved Mandal number 8, Sukt 18, Mantra number 21. Narvat Varn, that is, Varuna, O human like God. Rigved Mandal number 8, Sukt 43, Mantra 13. Manushyavat Agne. Rigved Mandal number 8, Sukt 43, Mantra 27. Manushyavat Angare. Angare means God with a highly radiant body. It has been written in all of them that God is like a human being. Now let me show you Rigved Mandal number 1. Maharishi Dayanand has done the translation and he has tried to do rubbish and should finish this so that no one should read that it is written God is like a human being. Let me first show this Rigved Mandal number 1, Sukt 31, Mantra number 17. Look. This is the first mandal. This is the translation of Maharishi Dayanand ji. The publisher is Sarvadeshik Arya Pratinidhi Sabha, 3/5, Maharishi Dayanand Bhavan, Ramlila Ground, New Delhi. And this is the printer, Samrat Printers and Binder, 1606 Patodi House, Daryaganj, New Delhi. That printer has been changed from the earlier one. Look, this is Rigved Mandal number 1, Sukta 31. It's mantra number 17. What is written in this Manushyavat Agne? Where has he written its translation? Look, Manushyavat. Maharishi Dayanand ji has translated this Manushyavat and Agne he has written separately. He did Agne here and has written Manushyavat here. He has put Agne before, so here he has written that, O holy, Angir means the one is like life. Angir also means God. It was to be written here, Manushyavat, Angir hai. Angirasvat Angir hai. Yativat Sadne Purvav Suche. Now let's see its meaning through them. The one who bears like a holy soul. That is, God, you come like a creature. It has been written full with all the knowledge, the head. They have erased the traces of God from here, has written head. Look ahead. Like humans, Manushyavat, like the coming going of man. Here it should have been written like human, Manushyavat, like a human, an ordinary person can read, like human and body. What is the meaning of va? While translating, the meaning of va is or. It should be continuous. Its meaning is the body is vast, like life, air, royal, like karma, pervaded man. Angiras means like an ordinary human being. Yayati vat, just as men along with deeds get yagya accomplished, you are the giver of knowledge like that reputable scholar. Look at the translation anywhere, it has no meaning. This means you come like an ordinary man and just as a common man does his work with his hands, in the same way you come purvat, purvavrat. O God, do come again like before. You provide us with knowledge. Come here again. Pious souls, now this truth will come in front of you, then you will be surprised and wonder. Maharishis used to be like this as well, who did not understand the knowledge and did all rubbish. Look at this. I will show more of Maharishi Dayanand's nuisance. How wrong translation has he done? Look at this. Rigved Mandal number 1, Sukt 44, Mantra number 11. This is the translation done by Maharishi Dayanand. What is written in this? Manushyavat Dev. Manushyavat Dev. It is written in this. Look, this is one sentence, a complete mantra. Now, this Manushyavat Dev should have been taken together in translation. What has he taken first? Here, he has taken Dev and has taken Manushyavat at the last. See, this is a great way to do nuisance. O Dev, equipped with divine knowledge. Agne means we are the scholars who honor the best materials like substantial fire. Does this have some meaning? Agne, he should have simply written, O God. He has written in 20 places. I will show you in the same Rigved. Mandal number 9, Sukt 96. How many times has he written? Agne means Parmeshwar. Agne means God. Agne means God. Look at this. Because there was no mention of God being in form. There was no Manushyavat. Here in Rigved Mandal number 9, Sukt 96, Mantra 1 till 9. Out of 9, Agni is in 8. Agne. Everywhere Agne means God has been written. Agne means God or material fire. Agni means God or material fire. In the first mantra it has been written Parmeshwar. Rigved Mandal number 1 of Sukt 96 is the translation of Dayanand. In mantra 1 there was the word Agni. Agni means God. Look in the second word, there is Agni word for God. Now in the third Rigved Mandal 1 Sukt 96 Mantra 3, it's Agni, which means he did Jagdishwar. Now see the fourth. Agni means Jagdishwar. Now in the fifth, this is going on. Rigved Mandal number 1, Sukt of 96, and it is the fifth Agni, which means God. Now on the sixth, look ahead. In this it is the sixth Agni means God. In this seventh, Agni means Jagdishwar. The word Agni is not there in the eighth. Look again on the ninth. Aha. It is the same. They might think that it is shown somewhere else. The 96th has ended here. 97 started from here. That is why 97 has been written on the page. We are continuously seeing the 9th mantra of 1 by 96. Agne means God. God who provides all happiness. Agne means God. Now here he got confused. If here he would have written Agni means God, then he will be proved to be in form. Like a human being is already written in Rigved Mandal number 1, Sukt 44, Mantra number 11, he is writing Manushyavat Dev. He should have written Dev means God. Oh God, you are Manushyavat, like a human. You are like a human. This was supposed to be written. Now here he has written Dev. He tore the leg, took it here from there and brought it here from there. Is this something? If it is a couplet or a verse, its translation should have been done in the same sentence. It cannot be here from there. It can't be there and here. He has done it completely wrong. He has written Manushyavat here, wrote the chairperson. This is meritorious, and has written Agni as material fire, just like material fire. Here it should have been written, O God, Manushyavat should have been written here. To give the knowledge of religious rituals, O God, you come to tell that practice in the form of Guru, in the form of Ram, Ritvid Jamr. You come in the form of Ram, Ritvid Jamr. You are as human, Manushyavat. As a human, you only inspire everyone's wisdom. Look here, he has written Manushyavat. He took Manushyavat here and put Dev here. Is this translation? Damn it. And is called Maharishi. There are many such evidences, but it is said that an indication to the wise is sufficient.
आप सुन रहे थे जगत गुरु तत्वदर्शी संत रामपाल जी महाराज जी के मंगल प्रवचन। अधिक जानकारी के लिए विजिट कीजिए हमारी वेबसाइट www.jagatgururampalji.org। संत रामपाल जी महाराज जी के शुभ आशीर्वाद से पूरे विश्व भर में 500 से भी ज्यादा नाम दीक्षा केंद्र हैं, जिन पर संत रामपाल जी महाराज जी द्वारा ऑनलाइन निशुल्क नाम दीक्षा दी जा रही है। अपने नजदीकी नाम दीक्षा केंद्र का पता करने के लिए संपर्क करें 8222880541।